is welcome. I'm getting the message. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Put your hands together. My soul is welcome. You know you're welcome. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome. Tell me about it, Lorene. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. All souls are welcome. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Well, good morning, Reverend Deborah. Good to see you this morning, as well as everyone else. For your souls are indeed welcome here.
Good morning, Reverend James, and welcome back. We greet you this morning in the name of all that is good, all that is holy, and all that is sacred, and in the warm and loving energy of this community. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping in temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and of course the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no space that God does not grace. And if you're with us for the very first time today, whether online or on site, we especially want to welcome you because we know that you are not here by accident. Every one of us is here by divine appointment. And we're just so excited to be together today. And of course, the excitement continues when you silence your electronic devices, and please refrain from flash photography during the service.
Well, let's take a moment as we create that clearing so that we may have that direct connection with that presence that is always within us and around us. Indeed, this presence that is beyond words is what we live and move and have our beingness in. It is the foundation of everything that we see and what we can express. And it contains all the qualities that reflect who and what we are when we are seen at our highest and our best. The peace, the love, the joy, the wisdom, and all the qualities that reflect the highest of what it means to be a spiritual being going through a human experience. And so we're grateful to let this presence be expressed through us, through the words that we speak, the thoughts that we have, the actions that we take. And as we do, we begin to anchor a little bit more of heaven, which is ever expanding good, not only in our life, but also in our world. For whenever anyone is lifted up, we all are lifted up because we are interconnected on a soul level, on that spiritual level, and nothing can break that bond between us and the presence of God. So we go forth doing our part, knowing that the Spirit of God will provide the increase along the way. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Well, here at Spiritual Life Center, we have a very important purpose that's reflected in our mission statement. I invite you to join in as we affirm it together. To transform lives as we love, serve, and remember. And we carry out that purpose as we live these 5 basic universal principles that unity believes in, and we make part of our life. So let's again affirm them together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. We must take action.
And we have some pretty cool action coming this Wednesday. It's a Wow Wednesday. It's a thank you.
People are excited. Okay.
It's a talk the walk, and we're calling it the Path to Spirituality. And Patty Peters and I are going to sit down and have a conversation about the path to spirituality. We came from very different starting points, and somehow or another, at some point in our lives, we found that we're actually have walked parallel paths. So it'll be a very interesting conversation. You're going to get a little tiny peek at maybe at today with Patty up here in a few minutes. So join us at 6 for salad, and the program will be at 7.
And speaking of activities coming up, we're having our annual Faith in Action coming up soon, and we're calling it Let Your Light So Shine. And it's our annual community-wide book study group. And this year we're studying the book Divine Audacity by Linda Martello Whitsett. And today we have an opportunity to invite you to become either a home host or to become a facilitator. It's a way that you can contribute to our community. And it's a way to meet new friends and deepen your connection with others that you've known for a long period of time. So you can either host either directly at home, or we can also have it can be done by Zoom. And if you have any questions, ask Reverend Deborah. She has all the answers. And she'll be more than happy to talk with you about that. And you can sign up today. And we're extending the sign-ups, I think, until Wednesday. So we'd love to have anyone who wants to facilitate or be a home host to do so.
The SLC prayer chaplains will participate in Unity's World Day of Prayer on Wednesday, September 7th. It says 8th here, you see. That's correct, the 7th. So we'll come together with our prayer chaplains as they affirm and celebrate the theme, Hold the High Watch. And it's a wonderful time. There'll be music, prayer, meditation, music with Laurie. She'll be with us. And between now and September 7th, you can stop by the chaplain table and fill out one of those little colored cards and attach it to the prayer tree. And all those prayers, will bring those in and bless them at that service. If you're online, you can send your prayer in. We will write it out and put it on the tree as well. So let's get that prayer tree filled up between now and September 7th.
And we have another annual event coming up soon, and we want you to really be part of our Light the World Gala. Yes, I really got the cheering section going on today. It's going to take place September 30th between 6 and 9 p.m., and you can get tickets either online or at the Hub, which is in the courtyard. And the gala is our formal fun event that we have each year, and we're continuing our theme of celebrating our connections and our community. And it celebrates how our community lights the world and provides opportunities for our friends of SLC and community members to support our mission through their funding. So to let you know about that. And then also our annual gala is the fundraiser to further that mission. And we're here, of course, to transform lives and to make a difference in the world. And much of our goals for fundraising come through pledges or prepaid event sponsorships. So anyway, just visit our website, learn more about the perks and good stuff from our gala ticket event, and you can also support us through a sponsorship as well. Yes, so be there or be square, as they say. One of the things that we do at the Spiritual Life Center, and people often ask me, what is the purpose of church? And I would say, I think to really make a difference in people's lives. I mean, if you're here, if you come here and you're the same person you left as you came, why come? So one of the things we talk to do is see if we're having an effect on people's lives, and we're going to each month ask folks just to share their experience. And so this morning we have the effervescent Patty Peters. She is always upbeat. And she's going to share her story. I'm going to ask her a few questions and listen to see how this might be effective for you. So thank you, Patty, for being willing to share with us this morning. And so the first thing I want to ask, what was maybe an obstacle or challenge that you faced that kind of led you to this path?
Well, about 4 years ago, I all of a sudden, literally one day, had this overwhelming sense of fear and anxiety. It was tremendous. It was over the top, debilitating.
So how did, so when you say debilitating, how did it impact you in your life?
Well, I'm going to be vulnerable here. I was afraid of darkness in the house like a little kid. I had to have a nightlight on when I went to bed. And I didn't understand where it was coming from. And I was in such fear that I felt like I couldn't remember being happy. And I felt like I was always going to feel this way. I had no hope.
So did you go through a time where you kind of wandered in the wilderness before you had some change?
Yes, because I was so stuck that I wasn't thinking about God. I was just stuck and creating more fear by concentrating on that fear and anxiety, if that makes any sense.
So at some point it turned around. What turned it around? What happened?
Well, I'd been coming to SLC for about a year on Sundays only because of my job, etc. And I love the Sunday service. From the very first moment I met SLC and I met you, James. But I wasn't a part of SLC, and I didn't practice the principles that we just talked about a few minutes ago. And one day we had a guest speaker, Richard Burdick, some of you would know, and he was singing a song that he wrote that was basically about helping your brothers and sisters. And a congregant who I knew only on the periphery heard me on my seat sobbing out loud. I was overcome with emotion for my pain, and also I had that moment because of the song and because this man who didn't know me got up and came up and hugged me through the fact that he could hear my sobs. And that moment, he epitomized what the song that Richard Burdick was singing about. And it was at that moment that I felt God.
Yes.
I felt God in here and through the person that helped me.
So after that time, were there some practices or principles that you found very helpful to you on your journey?
Yes, the principles that we practice here. I started praying, and I said this prayer, and I'm gonna share it with you. It may sound silly, but it's one of those that worked for me. And it was, God likes me, God loves me, and God protects me. And I don't know why I had to say God likes me, but it just fit. And it made me feel good, and it made me feel peaceful when I would say it. So I started joining the small groups and getting to know people, so I felt more a part of, instead of, like I said, being on the periphery, and being a part of this community.
So what did you discover about yourself along the way?
Well, I discovered that I could get through anything with the love of God and with Spirit inside me. And I discovered that I'm not alone. Because for this man who didn't know me to reach out to me in this manner was just overwhelming. And I do believe that people are inherently good.
So how would you say you are as a person today?
Well, I'm living my best life. I'm open to new challenges and new opportunities that we offer here and other places throughout. And I hope that my family and friends see a difference in me, because I don't dwell in negativity anymore. I have negative thoughts, and I've had challenges, and I've had some depression, of course, and anxiety since then. But I can work through them without having to go to the depths that I had to at that time. So I love my life right now, and I thank all of you for being a part of it and uplifting me.
Thank you so much, Patty. Yeah, what an inspiration. Thank you. Give me a hug. And I like your prayer, by the way. God likes me.
And we'll hear more about Patty's story on Wednesday, so come. You can tune in, but come. So remember, we have all kinds of things going on here. There's many activities, including lots of weekly small groups. So to discover all the happenings at SLC, you can certainly go to our website, or if you're here on site, go out to look at the bulletin board, talk to the ladies at the hub, and you can find anything. Between the two of them, you can find out anything you ever wanted to know about SLC.
And at this time, I invite any of our board members and chaplains that are here this morning to please stand. Thank you for your presence. And the chaplains that are wearing the white stoles do the very important work of holding the prayer watch for the community. and are available to pray with you immediately after the service in the courtyard if you're going through some challenge, or if you just want to celebrate something good in your life. We don't just always have to pray because we're trying to get through a challenge. We can celebrate the good things in life, and they will cement that even more in your consciousness. So we thank the chaplains for their consciousness and what they do for our community. And our board members, we have 4 of them here this morning, bring their time, their talent, and their skill set, kind of working behind the scenes in many respects to help the movement of our organization to become the very best that it can be, navigate through the challenges that we experience from time to time. So we thank them so much. And if you have any questions, they'll be more than happy to answer your questions as well. So we thank the board members for their contribution to Spiritual Life Center.
And we'd love to greet our newcomers, and in a moment we will ask you to raise your hand. But first, we want you to know there are many ways to become connected at Spiritual Life Center, and one way to do that is to fill out the welcome card. That welcome card is available online. You can go to our website, fill it out, submit it, and we will get back to you. If you're here in person, raise your hand. We will give you the card, fill it out, and take it to the welcome table where there is a very warm welcome and a very special gift.
And if anyone's here for the very first time, any first-timers here this morning, we just have, please keep your hand up nice and high, and we're going to give you the welcome card. And we have a purple ribbon. We invite you to wear it on the side where your heart is. And we could also give you that special Spiritual Life Center greeting from our other members and friends of Spiritual Life Center. Know that we appreciate your presence and we support you on your path as you move to become the very best person that you can be. And hopefully we can help you along the way in doing that. So we love you and we appreciate you. And you are magnificent, as we all are. And with that, I invite folks to not only maybe greet a newcomer, but greet one another in a manner that feels comfortable for you and say, you are marvelous and glad you are here.
You do.
Well, thank you very much.
It suits you.
Good morning. Welcome.
We invite you to stay standing and join us in singing this beautiful, beautiful chant by Ricky Byers. I think Patty put me in that place of the heart. What beautiful vulnerability to hear somebody's story, because we all go through the darkness. But it opens us up to say, pour yourself in me, Spirit. Pour yourself. Please sing with me. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Pour Shine your light. Shine your light. Shine your light into my heart. Whoa. Wonderful Spirit. Sing your song. Sing your song in me. Sing your song into my heart. Whoa. Wonderful Spirit. Sing your song. Sing your song in me. Come on, sing your song right into my heart. Whoa. Wonderful Spirit. Dance and smile. Dance and smile. Go on, get your dance on. Get your dance on. Into my heart. You can dance. Whoa, dance and smile. Dance and smile into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour yourself in me. Pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Wonderful Spirit. Please be seated.
Now I invite us to speak out loud our vision statement as we send these words straight to our hearts and straight out into the universe. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet. And as we continue with our theme of abundance and prosperity, let's affirm together musically that there is more than enough of everything for everybody.
More than enough. More than enough. More than enough. More dancing today. More than enough, more than enough, more than enough, more than enough. Truth for everybody, more than enough. Wisdom for everybody, more than enough. Beauty, more than enough. Peace for everybody, more than enough. Dream, more than enough. Heart for everybody, more than enough. Mind for everybody, more than enough. Spirit, more than enough. Love for everybody.
Let us move into this time of quiet and contemplation by taking a deep, slow breath. And as you release it, calm your mind, calm your body. With each breath now, allow yourself to release any tensions or concerns. And bring your full consciousness into this room, into your body, into the sanctuary of your heart. As you relax, your consciousness begins to drift and float up into the ethers, into the land of daydreams. You are standing on a high mesa near midnight. It is quiet and still. It's a cool summer night, and the moon has not yet risen, which makes the panorama of the Milky Way even more spectacular. The millions and millions of stars turn the sky into a river of blue-white light. And you gaze up into this miracle of light in the stillness of the night. The river of light pulses and beckons, and it is in this moment that you know that this is your true home. The stars are made up of the same substance that makes you. You and the stars are the same. And you close your eyes, throw your arms wide, and extend your own light to become one with the Milky Way in the quiet. And as you lower your arms and look toward the east, you see the full moon hanging low and bright on the horizon, as if waiting for its cue to begin its ascent. The realization comes that you and the stars are the same, with one exception. The stars do not hide their lights. They shine for all the universe to see. As you watch the moon rise a little higher in the sky, gaze upon the magnificence. You ask, how is this possible? The moon, high in the sky, illuminates a granite altar. And as you approach, you see that there is a small book lying open, and it says, "There are more possibilities than there are stars." As you gaze upon the lights of the universe, imagine each one is a possibility in your life. Possibility for growth, change, transformation. Allow that light of possibility to enter your mind and heart and lay it on the altar of light. And so in this moment, you think of what you want to be possible in your life, what you want to be open to. And symbolically lay your possibility on the altar in the middle of a moonbeam. Moonlight streams down, filling you with vision and confidence. And you accept the light of this possibility into your body and your soul. And now immerse yourself in your vision of possibility in the silence. The light of possibility burns within you. As you take a breath to return to this room in your body, hear this blessing. Oh, my beloved, you are the stars. The stars are you. You are a child of the universe. Your possibilities are infinite. Your inner light is infinite. Shine your light for all to see. It is why you came to earth. Remember this, always.
Spread your wings and fly. You belong to the sky. Many wonders lie waiting within your mind's eye. And as you believe, you will receive. As you believe, claim your destiny. Beyond perceived boundaries lies possibility. And as you believe, you will receive.
As you believe. Thank you, Anne, Larry, and our band. You know, I was thinking about what to share today. I was recently at the conference that took place in Unity Village grounds. It's called People of African Descent in New Thought. So it was including Unity, Centers for Spiritual Awareness, individuals who teach this on so many levels. I met one of the ministers who was from Chicago, and he was sharing that he used to be in the Navy. He's very proud of being in the Navy, you know, the high standards that he said he had to reach. And he was telling me that he had a friend who was also part of the Navy SEALs. And the Navy SEALs are supposed to be like, you know, the elite of the elite. And he talked to his friend and he said, you know, we kind of live in the same kind of dorms across from one another and eat the same food, go do basically the same things. But I noticed, you know, I asked you to train with me. You'll never train with me. He said, why is that? Why won't you ever train with me? And he said to the guy that, well, you don't really know what is in you. He didn't quite understand what he was talking about. What do you mean you don't know what was in me? So he kept bugging him about training with him, and so they went out and they trained. And then after a certain point, my friend, he quit. And when he said that, when he quit, he said this friend told him, see, the reason I don't train with you is that you quit when you reach maybe 40% of your capacity. But when you reach 40% of your capacity, we as Navy SEALs, we're just getting started. I think he was talking about the possibilities that are always within us. There's more within us than we realize. And so today I was talking about the idea of your possibilities are endless. I think on some level we are here to reveal the infinite nature of the Spirit of the living God. And this presence that we use to call so many different names, the force is what I like to call it, really birth into expression each and every one of us. It's birth with this expression in us, the capacity to reflect and to reveal what I call the cosmic order of God, the allness of God. And it's dependent upon, of course, our own consciousness, or as was being sung, our belief. What is it that we believe? You know, there's a statement in Genesis, the 13th chapter, the 14th to 17th verse that says, raise your eyes now, or it says, look upon the hills and look northward, southward, westward, eastward, and all that you can see, you can have. So sometimes in life, we don't see much, at least compared to what's available. Now, sometimes you might be thinking, what is this dude talking about? I just want to kind of make it through life, you know, kind of get out of debt, maybe get rid of this rash on my face. You know, I got a healing I need right now. I just want to get along with my mother, my father, my sister, my brother. You know, what is he talking about revealing this so-called cosmic order? I don't want to hear about all that cosmic stuff, but there's a part of us that does. Someone once asked me, you know, can you tell me what does God want for my life? What does this force want for my life? And I said, you know, you really want to know? It's really very simple. You want to know what that is? God wants to be known and revealed through you. And so we're coming to understand that you and I are all wonderful experiments of this presence of God, and we're equipped, I would say, to expand this good in our life. Expanding good is another name for heaven, which is here and now. And when we reflect that good, all the other things that we think we need to have done, need to be taken care of, whether our wholeness, our health, our guidance that we are looking for, how we can be more generous or kind, the right relationships, all those things are taken care of when we realize that we're here to be in tune with this presence, which is limitless. And that's why it says, I think in Matthew, the 6th chapter, and the 33rd verse, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all its righteousness, and every single thing will be added unto you. That is the foundation. So we want to understand that we are here to reflect and reveal this good, reveal this cosmic order. And if you agree with me, just say yes. Yes. Okay, I got a few yeses. I like that. So here, I think to tap into these possibilities, we have to have infinite flexibility. And the Maharishi Yoga said something to the effect, infinite flexibility brings about infinite positivities. I think this is very important because sometimes we're in this world and it comes and goes and we see things going up and down and, situations are always changing outside of us. They're always moving. Just in a very small story, when I went to flying to Kansas City, the airport there, I had the privilege of being the opening keynote speaker, which was really cool. Yeah, it was good. But anyway, when I went down there and flew in, they were supposed to have somebody there, to put a little sign up, James Trapp, so they give me a ride to Unity Village. And, I guess they were trying to treat me like a big shot. But I looked around. Nobody was there. I looked around and I said, what's going on? What's happening? So I said, okay, well, let me go to my baggage claim and pick up my bag. And I was walking along the way, and I saw a guy there, and another person, apparently was one of the participants, is going to go to the village. And I heard her say to the guy, well, are you going to Unity Village? And he said, well, yes. And I said, oh, this must be my ride. So I walked up to him, and we got into the car, and it wasn't my ride, but it worked out okay. Because I knew it was all going to be okay anyway. And it was a very small matter in the scheme of things. But I mention that because oftentimes people, or we sometimes base our happiness or our joy or things going out right for us based upon things going okay outside of us. What's going on in the outside world. Instead of coming to the understanding and a deep realization that everything that we seek, at bottom, our joy, our wisdom, our harmony, our prosperity, our abundance come from the infinite presence that is within us, here and now, can never leave us. So we are here to be invited to have that infinite flexibility. The world has its effects. It has its circumstances. And we're not relying on things of the world to look a certain way for us to demonstrate the spiritual abundance that is for here to demonstrate in our life and in our world. The great poet, singer, songwriter, John Lennon said it this way. He said, life is what's happening when you're busy making plans. Or so somebody told me there's an old statement you may be familiar with that says, if you want to make God laugh, tell God what your plans are. We have our own plans, and God look at that and say, hey, okay, that sounds good to you, but there's something more in store. So there's always this world of phenomenon in which things are moving, and things are shaking, and things are happening, and not going according to our plans. And we want to realize we don't need any of that to be happy. Because our joy is not based on that. So we want to develop an infinite flexibility with awareness, as the old Zen statement says, that, you can prevent the birds from flying around your head. You can't prevent that. But you can prevent them from making a nest in your hair. If you have hair. Don't have hair, it might be on your bald head, but that's okay. But you can't prevent the things that are going on in the world. The thoughts and the thought forms that manifest through particular experiences. But we know that underneath that world of phenomena, the world of changes, there is a timeless, dimensionless presence that is always being itself and is never affected by the changes. It's never affected by what's taking place in the outside, and we want to get in tune with that. And I think our purpose is to stay in tune with that timeless, limitless presence. And remember, that's why we are here. And we want to make that our number one purpose. I heard a story. Because, it's baseball season. I was checking out the Giants. They're not doing so hot. But they still got a long season. That's what they say, baseball. And, but there was a time that Hank Aaron was, rushed approaching to become, the number one home run hitter in the history of baseball. And I think there was a exhibition game, which was the New York Yankees. I'm going way back, apparently. I don't even know if I was around, but I just heard about this story. And Yogi Berra was the catcher. And Hank Aaron was up at the plate, and then Yogi Berra just kind of interrupted Hank Aaron and said, you're not holding the bat right. You're not holding the bat right. You're supposed to be able to hold the bat so you can see the writing on the bat. Well, Hank Aaron, didn't pay no mind. The pitch came. He hit it, knocked it out of the ballpark. He went to first base, second base, third base, and came home. And he walked up to Yogi Berra, and he said to him, I did not come here to read. I didn't come here to read. In the same way, I didn't know it was going to be that funny. But we didn't come here to get caught up in the ups and down changes of the world. We're here to realize our oneness with this infinite presence. This is why we pray. This is why we meditate. This is why we vision. This is why we enter into our service. This is why we come to have fellowship with those who are on the path. This is why we study these principles. So that ultimately we have a breakthrough from the external world as the source of anything that we think we want. Like I said, the joy, the happiness, the opportunities and prosperity, we begin to dive into the timeless, limitless, ultimate reality that allows us to be able to express what it is. So we got to be flexible and pliable to go along with the flow. Because we know it's God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, which is ever expanding good. It's God's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. And oftentimes it's beyond our wildest imaginations. And sometimes God just wants to surprise us. So we got to be open and receptive to receive it. Sometimes we have our own, we have our principles. We have our vision boards, and, we have our statements of what we want to have happen in our life. I have my own from time to time. I keep updating them. And I always say those are nice, sweet things, but it's only the beginning step. It's always very nice to do those things, but we don't want to hinder the overflow of the presence of God by thinking it's got to look a certain way. That's why sometimes in prayers, when we pray for something, we affirm something, I always leave at the end, this or something better. Because no matter how far we think we are going, Spirit of the living God always has more for us. So we realize it doesn't have to be a certain way, because this presence is infinite. And there's no withholding in this presence at all. So understand that we don't have to pray to this presence that we call God to give us anything. Because God is love, period. God is beauty. God is joy. It is always giving itself all the time to all of its creations. But we want to be receptive enough to receive it so that we can always shine and radiate it in our life. So we don't want to restrict it to our little meager prayers that we have at times. Because like I said, God sometimes laughs at our prayer because it seems on so many levels so small. I was reading a book the other day that kind of reminded this, and the title of the book was Make No Small Plans. Doesn't excite the presence. Probably doesn't excite us. Sometimes we do these little prayers, and I think if Spirit was like a human being and say, that's it? You in touch with the cosmos? And you just want this little thing? You just trying to get through life, not trying to get hurt? Oh, my God. Is that what it's all about? No, we want to come to the understanding that this presence is so overflowing everywhere. And in order for us to capture this overflow, we just have to develop a mental equivalent in our minds, a mental equivalent of the goodness of life, the beauty of life, the timeless dimensions of life, the order of life, the abundance, the spiritual abundance of life. So as we talk about the possibilities of endless, Our part is to have an awareness in our mind and create that mental equivalent in our own minds first. Because as that statement says, first in mind, then in the visible world. First in mind. Because our mental equivalent influences our experiences. Our experiences do not have the final word in our life. They don't. You know, there was, years ago, I had a couple that come to me, and these are gentlemen that come to me and said, you know, he was having high blood pressure. And he came with this idea because he thought that it was his wife that was giving him his high blood pressure. He would say things like, whatever she does, such and such, oh, I get so mad, my blood pressure goes up. Can you help me with my wife? I said, man, no. He said she's giving me high blood pressure. He thought there was some cause and effect thing going on in the relationship, thinking that somehow his spouse was causing his high blood pressure. And he was convinced of this. And he would show me all of his experiences. And then he said, well, she did this. Oh, my pressure, I can show you. When this happened, my blood pressure went up. When she didn't do this, my pressure went up. And he went on and on and on. I'm listening, trying to be a good listener. But I had to break it down to him that he had a mental equivalent in his mind that had nothing to do with his wife. Ultimately, he broke away from that and see that he was living in a world of being happy or unhappy based upon something happening outside of him. And whenever she did or did not do something, he thought that was causing him to have that experience. His pressure would go up. Well, he was out of touch with the truth that underneath, no matter what's going on, his mental equivalent was his wife should or should not be doing something. But understand, underneath all of that, love is still love. Beauty is still beauty. God is still God. Everything is in a flow. But he was in the relative world, the changing world. He was in that linear world. His thought form was, he thought his wife was doing something to him. But the moment he was able to get that he was not living his life based upon what she should or should not do, that he should live his life based upon the presence of God, this changes limitless something, then that particular cord that he was holding on to, it broke. And even though we always have preferences of how a person should or should not be, but in the end, it does not determine the final word of what our life can and should be. In other words, it could not cause him to have high blood pressure. His thought caused him to have high blood pressure. What he was holding in his mind was holding that. There may be other factors, but it wasn't directly because of an event. He was manifesting that because he had a mental equivalent in his mind that led to that event in his life. Are you following what I'm saying here? Yeah. I got my cheering section right up front. But understand that we have a mental equivalent. We have potential emerging, whether that potential is health and harmony and wholeness, or whether it's a lesser expression. Sometimes it shows up as disharmony in our life. It depends upon what we're seeing. That's why it says in the verse in Genesis, all you can see, you can have. I would even go beyond, what are you believing? What are you expecting? When we say your possibilities are endless, it has nothing to do with trends. It has nothing to do with the sign of the times. It has nothing to do with what's popular or contagious. It has nothing to do with the emotional thought forms that society is bombarding us with. It has nothing to do with what is temporary. It has something to do with what is forever. Therefore, you and I get to demonstrate that which is forever by developing that flexibility, that openness, and revealing this limited good that's trying to happen through us all of the time. Are you into that? Are you willing to suspend belief that something miraculous can happen in your life? You got to start there. You got to believe that. So we need to suspend belief because often we're trying to use our mind to figure out a problem. But put too much emphasis on the problem. But as some individuals used to say, don't think about the problem. Think about the presence and the power and the love of God, because God don't know nothing about your problems. We do. We are creating that. And we can begin to uncreate it when we get in alignment with this presence. So we want this mind to be in the harmonizing energy that we call God. That's more good than we can imagine. And it's showing up sometimes outside our present way of thinking. It's showing up many times outside the way that we see things, our paradigm. It's showing up outside our own plans at times, with the awareness that sometimes the worst thing that may be happening, at least in our own minds, sometimes turns out to be the best thing. That's why someone said one time that what's a bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul. Something new is trying to emerge through us. So we ask, what good is here that I can't see right now? What good that I'm not recognizing? What possibility is here that I can't see? What solution is here that's beyond my current paradigm of seeing the world? What is it I can't hear right now? Let me see it. Let me hear it and declare I'm available to it to be expressed in and as my life. And that becomes part of our awareness. Oh, the possibilities are endless. Peace and blessings to you. Maybe I should take some more breaks and come back. Well, next week we're going to kind of continue upon this theme of spiritual abundance. And I'm going to talk about accept, receive, and claim your good. At this time, I invite those who may be online who want to support this ministry and the consciousness that we're seeking to spread, throughout the world and make a difference, to Spiritual Life Center. And you can give by simply texting SLC Love to 44321. That's SLC Love to 44321. Or you can go to our website, slcworld.org, click the Donate tab, and give in other ways, including by mail. And for those who are present, I just invite you to symbolically take your gift or offering, or if you've already given, just get into the flow of this offertory statement that we know is the truth. And let's affirm this together as we prepare for our receiving of that offering. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
I don't know about you, but that talk was just for me. Seriously, that was my whole week. I'm really glad you're back. You and I, we all are one, made up of the love through all creation. There is an endless supply of the power that brings us here. And when we harness that life, you know nothing can stop us now. Yeah. And anything can happen right here. So open your heart and start believing. The only limit is your mind. You can have everything. Let's go beyond fantasy, heavenly, 'cause we're living in the world of infinite possibilities. Spirit of pure divinity, manifesting our dreams. We're stepping into a mystery, 'cause we're living in the world of infinite possibility. Come on, step into the limitless who we are. Follow the path that leads to freedom. You only need to let it be. Everything's there within. You know expansion is a natural thing, 'cause we're living in the world of infinite possibilities. Knowing who we are, Spirit of pure divinity, manifesting our dreams, stepping into the mystery, 'cause we're living in the world of infinite possibilities. We're living in the world of infinite possibilities. Knowing who we are, Spirit of pure divinity, manifesting our dreams, stepping into the mystery, 'cause we're living in the world of infinite possibility. I think we gotta hear the bass a little. I tell you, that's Alex. He is infinite possibility. He is infinite possibility. You are infinite possibility. You want to sing it with me? Sing. Possibility. Possibilities. I am possibility. You are possibility. We are possibilities. Oh, possibility. Here's where we start. Possibility. Yeah. 1, 2, possibility. Yes.
Well, let's take this time to bless those who have given to Spiritual Life Center, for they're really contributing to a consciousness, a way of being, so we can help create a world that works for all. We know that we begin with ourselves, knowing that, as I say, as we are lifted up, it cannot help but affect those who are around us, or even those who may be across the planet, for we are one energetic field. We bless those who have left their prayers in the prayer box, knowing that in the Spirit of the living God, the answer to the prayer already has been done. As that statement says, before they call, have already answered you. And so we affirm that individuals simply raise their awareness, their vibration to be one with the one, to be one with the answer. And know that answer may come from many different ways or show up in ways that they never imagined, but we know it must be good, for this is the nature of God. So we let this presence have its way with us. So we're grateful and thankful that we all can be vessels and vehicles of the presence of God, that we can lift ourselves to be in tune with this presence and let it be expressed in our life and in our world. And so it is, and so we let it be as we go forth doing our part, assisted along the way by the presence of pure being. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And with that, let's join together as we affirm our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And that's the truth. Let us affirm now, again, as we sing our peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator,
God as creator,
family all are we.
family all are we.
Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin
Let it
with
begin with me.
Let this be the moment now. Let this be the moment. With every step I